PipSnipers here, back for another update. Let's take a look at XRP over here on the hourly time frame. Now, we have been tracking this triangle since the later half of July, and it does still look like we haven't had a breakout yet. We're still ranging within this triangle. Now, I want to make this video today just to show you the structure formed since September 22nd. There's a possibility that this over here was your A, this is your B, and then you come up for a C wave. So you have a three up in your A, 3 down in your B. Your B wave slightly sweeps your A wave low, and then your C wave sweeps your A wave high like this. Okay, now if you take a fib from this high, so this swing high from September 13th down to this low, you see how we came up to the 78.6% fib, but we were unable to get above it. So there is a big possibility we come down for a C wave of our E wave in this triangle. Okay, so remember, we're just forming the E wave in the triangle, which is the last wave down before we have the push up. Now, I would be expecting a move to the 200-day moving average at 2.5675. This blue line right over here. Okay, you see this blue line? That's where I would be expecting price to go if price ends up losing the if price ends up losing the 100-day moving average on the daily time frame. So the 100-day moving average is this purple line right here. It's sitting at 2.9067. If we end up losing that on the daily, and then especially losing this 9-day moving average at 2.8850, so these two levels, okay, then it's very likely it would we would have continuation down below the September 26th lows. Okay, so now if we go back here on my XRP post, I think so. Let me see here. So yeah, this was the post I made to the Discord members on October 1st, so about 4 days ago. So I did show that it was printing a diamond bottom here. Okay, we could come up right up to the 786 at 3.07 and then have a fake out all the way down here, this flush. So this flush would likely ramp up going into next week if we ended up doing this scenario. Okay, the second scenario I put out to you guys on the Discord is this could either be a wave 1. Okay, so instead of this being an ABC, this is just a wave 1. We're coming down for a wave 2 toward any of these interim retracements right here. But like I said, lose that 50%, which is also where the 109-day moving average lies at, then it's likely we'll have continuation down just to finish up this C wave of your last wave within this wave 4 correction. Now, right, there's two scenarios here. Let's delete everything on this chart and take a look at it on the daily. And we can see here that if we ended up dropping to around that 255 region at the 200-day, yeah, 256, 253 around there, if we ended up dropping here, it would likely just mean that this is an ending diagonal. Okay, so this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have your fifth wave like that, and this fifth wave may or may not be extended. Now, in the case that we lose the 200-day moving average on the daily time frame, then it's very likely that this over here is your A wave from January to April. This is your B wave in a 3-wave move, and this is your wave 1, 2, and then we're working on our 5-wave move to the downside in our C wave. A, B, C, 3, 4, 5, and then you come down like this, and then we have a running flat correction. So this would be your A wave, your B wave, and then you'd come down for your C wave in the case we get a daily close below this 200 day. Like if we get multiple daily closures below that 200 day, then yeah, it's very likely we're going to come down for a running flat toward any of these retracements, with it likely terminating at the 78 and 88.6% fib right here, like that. Okay, if we end up losing the 786 on the 3-day time frame, or even on the weekly, then it would be an expanded flat going below the April 6th lows. But I think that's the least likely scenario, and this is not the base case. Okay, the base case is that we end up just finishing up this triangle, and then we have continuation up above the January highs, north of $3.30. Okay, so we'll just see how we react to these levels going into next week. Just make sure you're mindful of the triggers. Okay, so here are the triggers right here. Okay, downside trigger to the September 26th lows would be a daily close below the 109-day moving average. So XRP bulls don't want to see a daily close below this $2.90 level and 2.8850 level, the 109-day moving average. If we get it, then it's likely that this move over here was just an ABC up and we're coming down to finish up this E wave. Okay. Now, sometimes in crypto, the waves can be slightly overlapping. I know Elliott wave theory says that they shouldn't be overlapping, but that's just usually what you get in crypto, just because it's such a highly over-leveraged asset class, right? You can kind of bend the rules a bit in Elliott wave when it comes to crypto, because it's such a manipulated asset class, right? The market is smarter than Elliott wave, remember that. So that's why I always recommend to use different types of perspectives when you're analyzing the markets. Like, let's take a look here at this XRP Wyckoff scenario that I have. So the XRP Wyckoff scenario, it shows that correction is done, right? Even if we come down to 256 at the 618, it would just be a scam wick. It would just be a very big shakeout before we have continuation, right? Let's go over here on the daily. Okay, this is your Wyckoff reaccumulation schematic. See, we haven't broken out yet, right? We're still under this trendline resistance. So
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Sorry, my Siri went off, but we're still under this trendline resistance here. Okay, it's either we come down for a little bit of a retrace over the weekend going into next week for a partial decline before having continuation up, just a bear trap, okay, above the, or a bear trap back to the 109-day moving average. Or we lose the 109-day moving average and then we come down to 256 at the 618 when you take a fib from the June 22nd low up to the July 18th high, okay? And then we go up for continuation. So this definitely could be a very big bear trap. Now, usually when you want to get more of a hint on where the market is headed, take a look at other coins. Like, for example, if the market was very bearish, you'd also see some coins giving more of a clue on the direction of the market. So let's go ahead and take a look here at FLR, for example. want to show you guys flare. So this is the flare chart over here. You see how it's just funneling upwards? So if we come down here, you'll likely see something like this, and then see it pick up from there again. So it looks like it's just funneling upwards, even on others here. If we take a look here at others, you see the ABC correction, it looks like it was finished over here back in March of 2024. So you have your 3 down in your A, 3 up in your B, and then your 5 wave move to the downside. Now we're making higher highs and higher lows. Yes, this is a rising wedge over here, but it could just mean that we just funnel upwards instead. Or take a look here at Total3, ES. Take a look here at this chart. Yeah, so this is Total3 ES right here. So same thing. Still making higher highs and higher lows. We may come down, back down to this trendline support here at around 828 down to around 792. Just chop around here at the lows. But in the case that we lose the 100-day moving average at 762 billion, then we have to be open-minded to the idea that we're forming a little bit of a bigger base for this wave 2 correction. Okay? And it looks something like that instead. And then we go up later into the year, like in and around November. Okay, because Bitcoin dominance, it is still rising. Let's take a look here. Okay, so this is Bitcoin dominance. Looks like it is still rising here. We'll have to alter these waves as the price develops, but I'll make sure to make an updated chart. Looks like we're still rallying, and looks like Bitcoin dominance is going to be coming up to the 100-day moving average at 60.67%. Okay, so we're just completing a ABC correction right now. When you take a look at the wave count going all the way back to June of 2022, or June 22, 2025, okay? We're forming a B wave before we come down for a big C wave, which will be the real alt season, right? We just got a little taste of alt season over here. But the real alt season, where we have absolute mania and euphoria, it will be after this B wave finishes, okay? So let's go back to XRP over here, right? We're still forming this Wyckoff reaccumulation schematic. What bulls would want to be looking for here on the daily time frame is for price to go no lower than the 9 and 100-day moving average at $2.90 and $2.88. In the case that we do that, it's very likely that XRP will take out the September 1st lows down to around 262 to 255 before continuing up for its last wave in XRP's cycle. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If you guys like the content, please click the like, share, subscribe, comment. And if you like the content, click the link in the description below to join the free Telegram chat. And if you want more of a personal experience, then definitely join the Discord. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out. Take it easy. See you guys in the next one.